this was like one of the best investments we ever made, was just building this space.
What was your revenue at that point, if you're comfortable to share that?
So we were...
This is the snake hole.
Welcome to the snake hole.
And this is their warehouse, where in 2024 they designed, photographed, and released more than 72 different pieces. That's a lot of clothing. In this video, you're going to be getting an exclusive tour inside their warehouse, including a storefront, photography studio, and even a design room. Are you ready? Let's go.
Starting with what everyone kind of sees when they walk in, it's our little shop. Even though we're 95% online, we do have this little setup here, but it's mainly just for staging, and we use it for content primarily. But we do get a few walk-ins and local guys that come through, but most of the time people are in here to click and collect, and they, maybe they come in a little bit early just before it drops, and they know they can get to stock before it does online. But this is just our little retail setup. Originally the idea was to actually frame this out and have like kind of glass in the front here and a door to open up into the shop. But the more we're in here, it's actually like, it's kind of hot in summer and cold in winter, so it's not the best retail experience. We kind of just made it a bit makeshift and then just focused online. But it is cool to have at least have all the clothes out here at once and kind of have everything presented. Definitely makes for better content when we're filming kind of bits and pieces around the brand. Behind here, you've got some tees that are online at the moment. These boxes, accessories, socks, belts, some hats and stuff down there. Usually anything here is going to be the latest drop, so it's quick packing. So this is the last bit of like the Odyssey hoods that dropped 6 days ago, and then there were the Trekker Polar fleece in here as well. Then as we kind of move back, as stock comes in, we move the styles back up the warehouse as they become like you need to pick and pack them less. And then there's just these are all styles that are still on the website, but they're just really low. Like there's only a couple of these left now, these tribal hoods. And then we've just got some various bits and pieces here. Same as this section here, we've got knits and stuff down the bottom there. A lot of this stuff is old samples or staff seconds, stuff that never got made, like this puffer vest here that has this, you can't really tell, but it's got this like spray paint style graphic on it.
What happens to the old samples or all the old garments that don't longer have longer use?
All the stuff that we don't make, or all the stuff that gets worn by models in shoots that we don't sell again naturally because it's been worn, we end up having a warehouse sale once a year where we have like a samples and seconds section. So that's actually really popular. People love that because they can get one-off pieces or stock that's been sold out, but there's still, maybe they've only been worn once. So like you see a lot of these, even stuff that when we pull out, we go to QC stock, we pull out and it's damaged, like one of those polar fleeces here. We put this in damaged stock. From memory, I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of a staining on the on that bit of fabric on the zip guard, and there's a bit of blue on there too. So we go through and pull this stuff, and this will be like half price when we do a warehouse sale. So these boxes are generally all either worn once, rejected bulk, or samples and stuff like that. Then through here we have the photography studio. This definitely gets a lot of use. It was one of the very first things that was a must for us when we got a space big enough. The first thing we wanted to do was build a photo studio, because back in the day, we actually had this kind of shipping container, and we hung a paper roll, like one of these. We would hang one of these from like the ceiling and just unroll it, pull it down every time we had a shoot. And like that was fine when we had no space, because then we still need to, trek through there during the day. But we got so sick of doing that by the end, because we're having drops every 2 weeks or so, so we constantly need to be shooting product photos as well as on-body shots for models and content and things like that. So major thing for us was building a space and then having a big enough door where we can bring props and stuff through, couches. We've had this entire space full of sand and trees and stuff before, and built like forest style setups. We've had colour lounge rooms in here before as well. So this is really important, and this was like one of the best investments we ever made, was just building this space.
What size were you when you made the investment to have your own studio?
So is it like how many years had we been in and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, how many years? What was your revenue at that point, if you're comfortable to share?
Yeah, so we were 5 years in when we come here. Probably won't disclose the revenue, but it was it's in the hundreds of thousands, and it becomes like a bit of a tipping point where there's a certain quality expected in how we present our clothes, and we needed, we couldn't just be pulling down rolls of paper that had, creases and stuff like that. We really needed a solid surface, something that we can paint over all the time, and just do and something that's here all the time. So a lot of the thing for us is speed as well. Like, we get stock in, boom, we need to get it on the floor. We need to be shooting all the flat lays. Then we can be straight back in the studio. Or if there's stock, it's in the warehouse, we can grab other colorways, shoot other ideas that we might have. We've got models coming in, we can just pull their size out of the warehouse, boom, be in here, shoot, go straight into the studio, edit everything up. So I wouldn't say it's an essential part for a label, but for us, it definitely is, being that we're dropping all the time. If you're only doing 3-4 drops, or half a dozen drops a year, then probably not worth building something like this, because it costs a lot of money. But if you're dropping as often as we are, and we need to be constantly turning stuff over, then it makes sense to have our own setup on hand. So definitely a major component of our operation. And without a doubt, in terms of dollars per use, one of the best return on investment was building this space, absolutely. But then, just the little kitchen setup. We never really got to do anything too seriously with this. We had dreams of having a bit of a gym and stuff like that in here, but it ended up just being a dartboard. But we've got pretty chill little kitchen setup. It's good for us. We don't really spend too much time in here, really. A lot of the time the boys will have lunch in the studio and stuff, which we'll go check out in a second. Yeah, we're gonna try to make more of a communal area in the next space. We're going to try and make something that's a little bit more inviting, especially when we have models and stuff here. We want to be able to accommodate them when they're, if there's multiple models and they're not all shooting at once. It's good to have space where they can go and chill and relax and stuff between, when they're shooting. So that's that space. And then the studio space, nice and warm. So this is where we do obviously most of the designing. And this is where our team works from. Brownie's there. That's my business partner as well, by the way. 10 years together. It's been very smooth sailing. We're in
So far.
Yeah, so far. We've been you always hear people say we've said this on a few occasions before, what's it like to be in business with, a lot of people were against friends and family doing business, and we just got so lucky. We're never had an issue with it's never, nothing in business is, good or bad has ever affected our friendship in any kind of way. So I've been really lucky with that. With that said, I said this before, if I was to ever start another business, I would definitely do it by myself, purely for the fact that I know how lucky we were to get this, because we've seen so many other businesses around us have friends fall apart, family fall apart. I remember a dye house we worked with in Melbourne one time, they were saying that they were brothers and they had a disagreement over the sale of the business, and they hadn't spoken in 15 years, and they were tight brothers. So we got super lucky. We just happen to have the perfect personalities that complement each other, and it's been awesome. But I think it's one in a million, the kind of chemistry and stuff we have. So we're super lucky. But that's my desk. Usually it's a lot more messy than Brownie's desk. Brownie's a neat freak and I'm not. It's exactly another yin and yang. Maybe that's why if anything happens, it will probably be over that.
Yeah, probably.
Tommy works there, so Tommy is our warehouse manager and a designer for us as well. He designs a fair few garments, bits and pieces. Ali was here today, she works on all of our patterns. She freelances, so she works with us probably 5 to 6 days a quarter. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks of the year. She comes through and does all of our really detailed work with our final production moves. So once the samples come in, she checks them against everything, makes sure there's adjustments. She's just much better at it than us, and we're big advocates for finding people who are better at a part of the business than you are. So she comes through, she's really detail orientated, she takes a big chunk of work off our shoulders, and she does an amazing job. So yeah, this is the studio, and we're going to be moving soon, but this has been our home for a long time, and it's been awesome. But on to bigger and better things. So super excited. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, I guess.
So that's it. The Snake Hole Warehouse. It's a really exciting place to be, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Thanks again to the boys over there. And by the way, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Elijah, and I create YouTube videos helping clothing brands scale with the power of community. Thanks for watching today's video, and if you found it valuable, then you can watch the Snake Hole create a jacket in 270 days from design all the way to release. That video is on screen now, and I will see you over there. I promise you won't regret it.